From franchise owners who were kicked out of the business after they reduced their employees to tiers,
You can on me, you can on me, you can do whatever the hell you want to me. You can't treat people like this when they're crying at work. No, come on!
to managers who were terminated for repeatedly talking down to their staff,
The average person that works back here, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, they're dumbass. You can't ask dumb people to do smart things. I'm an asshole, I'm a dickhead, I'm harsh, I'm over the top.
here are times when employees got kicked out on Undercover Boss, beginning with Sarah Bittorf had not been at Boston Market long when she agreed to go undercover in Season 4, Episode 9. And as Chief Brand Officer, her singular focus since joining in early 2012 had been on consumer campaigns and product development.
As a Chief Brand Officer, my job is the Boston Market brand. It's the rotisserie chicken you love in a brand new way. The brand is the sum of all of the interactions that you have with Boston Market.
She had come over from Burger King and Carnival Cruise Lines, brought in specifically to help rebuild the brand after years of store closures and painful restructuring.
Over the past 4 years, there's been somewhat inconsistent marketing effort here, which is one of the reasons why I've been brought in.
I've spent so much time in the field.
When she went undercover, she posed as a trainee named Rachel Rand, a woman competing for the opportunity to open her own restaurant, and visited 4 Boston Market locations across the country. At a Boston Market in Duluth, Georgia, she was paired with Ronnie, a shift supervisor who wasted no time making himself known.
Standard procedure is to greet the customer as they walk in and say, hello, welcome to Boston Market, blah, 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 whatever. Because we have to make customers, on a pedestal.
He joked about spreading leprosy in the kitchen.
I started off as a dishwasher, but I broke out in leprosy back there.
He also complained about corporate policy.
You should be asking customers, like, hey, would you like to sample our loaded mashed potatoes? It shouldn't be a question. You should be forcing it down their throat, because that is what corporate has told us to do. We don't ask questions, we just work like robots.
He then asked Sarah to do his work while he remained outside to smoke.
I'm gonna go smoke.
Okay,
I'll be over there.
that's what I'm here for. A little bit of Ronnie goes a long way.
He was even comfortable enough to tell Sarah to eat one of the pastries while they were packaging them, which made it obvious that he'd done this kind of thing before.
Have you had one of these? Have you tried them? You can eat one. I won't care. I won't tell you.
Oh, that's okay.
And then he said the line that ended his career at Boston Market.
I literally hate customers more than anything in the entire world. I hate them so much. They're terrible. It's all about them all the time, and they demand everything.
Sarah was so upset by the whole scenario that she stepped into the parking lot to compose herself.
Here I am, I'm a representative of this brand, and this is what happens. It can't happen on my watch. I feel like I need to shut this down. This is ridiculous, not acceptable at all. This is my worst nightmare.
After thinking things through, Sarah pulled Ronnie aside for a chat and confronted him directly.
I got you saying a bunch of things about our customers
I did.
that are really not very nice. One of our values is love to serve. And you don't seem like you love to serve. Without the guests in there, we don't have a business, and you don't have a paycheck, and neither do I. So I don't know if this is the business for you.
And with everything she had just witnessed, she wasn't sure if Ronnie really belonged at Boston Market.
Oh my God.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you home for the day. You might wanna think about whether this is really the right job choice for you.
But even after Ronnie was told who she was, his response was remarkable in its lack of remorse.
I would tell him my attitude would change, but I don't know. I didn't think it was that terrible. I'm not trying to justify how mean I was to a customer behind their back. They don't know I'm saying it, so it's not really that big a deal. But now, the giant lady of Boston Market knows what was going on. That's just not fair.
Then Sarah had a conversation with Neil, the branch manager, and made her decision.
We actually used the words, I hate our customers.
I'm surprised. Oh, no,
I'm
no,
sure you
no,
understand
no,
we
no,
can't
no,
have
no,
that.
we
So
can't have that, no.
we're gonna need to terminate his employment.
Bittorf later confirmed she received letters of complaint, including one from Ronnie's mother, but said she stood fully by the decision. The audience was furious with the way Ronnie acted on the show, with one stating, "If you hate customers and customer service, you're definitely in the wrong job. Your words and attitude impact those around you in such a negative way on a daily basis. Find something you love to do. Life's too short to do a job you hate." While another said, "Talking about the wrong line of business, pal. That so-called Kardashian at Boston Market had it coming. Hope he sat and reviewed his life choices. Sure, customers aren't always right, but you're there as a people person." When the CBS reunion special, Epic Employees, aired at the end of Season 4, the producers confirmed that Ronnie and Jacqueline from Retro Fitness, whom we're about to get into, were the only 2 workers who had been fired during the show's first 4 seasons. A follow-up segment showed Ronnie still unemployed 3 months later. For a while, Ronnie's firing was the benchmark for shocking terminations in the franchise. Then, just a few episodes later, Season 4 raised the bar with an even more unforgettable dismissal. Eric Casabury founded Retro Fitness in 2004 with a philosophy he kept very simple.
And I just was truly passionate that there was a way to offer a high-end fitness experience associated with a really good price.
He had started working in the fitness industry at 13 years old, growing up in New Jersey. It had dropped out of the University of Arizona to purchase several local gyms in Brick, Stafford, and Lumberton, which he later converted into the first Retro Fitness locations. By the time he went undercover in 2013, the chain had over 90 clubs, more than 300,000 members, and had been named one of Entrepreneur Magazine's top fastest-growing franchises. He went undercover as Barry Gauch, a reality show contestant hoping to win his own gym, wearing a shaggy wig, scruffy beard, and a fake gut to make himself look less like a fitness industry founder. At a Retro Fitness gym in Fair Lawn, New Jersey, Jacqueline was the front desk manager, and she treated training Barry as an opportunity to unload every grievance she had built up over the years.
Like me, I'm just a front desk, so I just kind of sit here, say my hey's, how are you, walk around, do some of that, you know, but most of the time I'm kind of just like this. Here, all right.
She played on her iPhone instead of helping members and explained to Casabury why this was perfectly acceptable.
You can run your gym the way you want it to run.
Right.
You can have your employees not take out their phone and take selfies all day, but that's what I like to do. I don't know, I just do my thing. And
When he tried to tell her why being on her phone was wrong, she started talking nonstop and wouldn't let him get his point across.
Maybe they might not approach you because they think you're busy. You know, they don't want to interrupt your personal...
well, that's actually never happened to me. People love to interrupt here. I don't work for you. I don't know what to do with some people. I just want to punch them in the face sometimes.
Oh, that would be bad.
You'll get there.
And she didn't stop there, as she had even more demeaning things to say about the gym's members.
They're literally stupid. They don't know anything. They don't know how to use a machine, so they're over here looking like doing the machine. And then they come up here and they're like, well, what does protein do? What the you don't know what protein does?
Jacqueline had gone as far as creating her own recipe for the protein shakes while ignoring the company's approved formula altogether.
And it says on the menu, 1 pump.
I always put 2.5. We're not supposed to, but it tastes better. So you would go 1, 6, go. That makes a disgusting shake, honestly.
Okay.
So what I always do, 1, and hold juice.
And to make matters worse, she threw away the remaining shakes rather than using them for sampling.
That's the
your shake.
perfect shake.
I noticed that there was like extra in here. Like, what do you guys like
dump
make
it out.
samples out of that? You don't offer
I
it to the
just-
member
nope,
at all? You just
dump it out.
dump it out.
If they want it, they can take it, but if not, oh well.
When Barry tried to stick to the correct recipe, Jacqueline took offense and viewed his actions as condescending.
That's enough ice.
Okay, I would normally hit the code, but
Okay, well, I'm telling you the way people like it, but if you don't want to listen to me, that's all good. You don't have to win. It's all
I
good
would
for me.
love to listen to you. I just
Okay.
think that maybe we would go with the code. But
Go
you know
ahead,
what?
go with the
We'll
code,
go
dude.
with the code.
Do it up. First of all, Barry's awkward. He's condescending. He's not absorbing anything that I'm saying.
At one point, she even told him to stop talking.
Just do it, because you're taking way too long. It has to be fast-paced. I want you to stop talking. Seriously.
All of that was bad enough, but things reached a breaking point when she yelled at a customer.
Your payment's overdue.
No, I'll pay it tomorrow.
No, you have to pay today. Hello, no, listen. How many times do I have to tell you? Don't with me, dude.
This brought Casabury so close to breaking his cover entirely.
The Retro Fitness CEO inside of me really wants to fix this right now.
When the reveal came, Casabury told Jacqueline exactly what he thought about her behavior while he was undercover.
First of all, you're coming at me saying that I'm disrespectful to members, which is completely false. Because, no, seriously, I don't.
There's no answer you could possibly say right now.
Okay.
So you can sit here for 15 minutes and talk about this.
I won't, but okay.
Don't waste both our time.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it makes no sense that you would treat someone that way.
Then he did something that the show had rarely seen. He brought in Bob, the franchise owner of the Fair Lawn location, to deliver the verdict directly. But before he did, Jacqueline had some things to say.
Using language behind the behind the desk.
And do you ever see that? Do you ever see me do that? No, because I don't do that.
You did it in front of the CEO.
But I
of the
didn't know
company.
it was him, obviously. I wouldn't
Well,
have done that. I wouldn't
but
have acted
makes
that
it-
way.
That makes it worse. That you didn't know it was him. Obviously, you wouldn't do it if it was him.
In the end, her words didn't change a thing about the outcome.
I'm disappointed, Jack. We have to part ways. There's nothing else I could do.
Viewer response online was immediate and largely merciless, with a comment that read, "Jacqueline is the perfect example of someone who can't be taught. Her CEO and boss give reasonable backed-up points, and she doesn't realize her wrongdoing. Instead, she blames them for backstabbing and portrays herself as the victim. Some people just live in their own reality no matter what. And another that stated, "Like I can't even deal." That is the maturity level she had. Immature little brat, and cried when she knew she was being canned. And her audacity to say that she'd act differently in front of the CEO. He was so justified in being angry with her. She was a horrible employee. By this point, the show had already proven that employees could be fired. The next case, however, came from a workplace with much deeper problems. One where the dysfunction ran from the kitchen straight through to management. Anthony Weedo did not come to Buffets Incorporated from a life of comfort.
I spent a lot of time in the kitchen. I was a busboy. I was a server. I was a manager for a period of time. So I did everything.
He had grown up with a father who had worked as many as 3 jobs at a time.
My father and my mother, worked nonstop all of their lives. It was not uncommon for my father to have 3 jobs.
By the time he stepped into the CEO role at Buffets Incorporated, he wasn't inheriting a success story. Although the company operated the country's largest buffet chains and served 150 million guests annually, it had already gone through 2 bankruptcies in 5 years.
I walked in the door to take over this company at the end of 2012. We've now taken the business in 6 months and stopped the water flowing through the hose in the wrong direction, and now we are beginning to grow this enterprise.
Weedo posed as Mike Davis, a construction worker competing for funding to launch a new business on a reality show. He stopped first at Ryan's Buffet in Lake Charles, Louisiana, where he was assigned to work with a restaurant manager, Ernest Williams. Williams showed him around and gave him his duties.
This is where we bread our chicken at. It's nothing in this restaurant that I haven't done and I don't do. Okay? Because you can train people, and then you can get it done.
And you show them the right way, right?
Yes, sir.
But it was someone else in the building who immediately commanded Weedo's attention, and that was Sky, the dishwasher.
I'm gonna set you with Skylar, help Skylar, you can tell him either expedite or watch this, and so he'll tell you where you want you at.
Okay.
The state of the kitchen told an unpleasant story before Sky opened his mouth. Dirty dishes were stacked in every direction as far as the eye could see. As Mike was put to work alongside him, Sky made his thoughts clear quickly.
When they come through the door, make them put the wherever you want. They're basically your slaves.
And the problem was that Sky didn't want to help Mike out. He wanted Mike to take over all of his responsibilities.
You're gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this in the front. You're gonna do this, or how are we gonna do this?
Right now, you're gonna run both positions.
Mike knew what a properly run back of the house looked like, and this was not it.
You're gonna have to pick up the pace.
I'm trying to stay calm here, but it's no way to run a restaurant. It's no way to run anything. So, Sky, man, how long you been here?
A couple months.
Eventually, Sky told Mike how he really felt about his job.
I hate doing dishes.
You know, this is my first job undercover, and I've been trying to keep my cool. But hearing Sky tell me how he hates his job, he doesn't want to be here, is frankly driving me crazy.
When Mike got fed up, he approached manager Ernest and revealed who he actually was.
Yes. This operation back here, is not where we need it to be. Okay, right?
I agree 100%.
What are we supposed to be doing?
And told him exactly what his role was as a manager.
I'm the CEO of this company. I don't decide whether we keep dishwashers.
Right.
That's your job.
Right.
This gentleman needs training. This gentleman needs to change his attitude. What happens with one bad attitude in the store? It's like a virus, right? It infects everything in the restaurant.
Yeah.
He then made it clear to the manager exactly what he expected him to do.
I want that gentleman brought in and talked to at your direction.
Okay.
At the reveal, Weedo told Sky plainly,
Let me back up. There was no training. Okay, there was no training in that store because I felt like I was set up to fail.
No, you weren't set up to fail.
and attempted to kick him out of the business.
As you know, I'm very disappointed in my visit, and it has to be changed immediately.
But the manager managed to convince Weedo to give Sky a second chance.
This guy likes you, and he believes that you deserve a second chance. I'm going to support him in making sure that you get an opportunity to have a second chance here.
Some viewers were completely against Sky's behavior, with one stating, "Dishwasher guy's the worst kind of employee at any job. They're not trained right, and instead of making it better, you continue the poor training and make it bad for everyone else." While others understood his point of view, with one writing, "Just to be real, no one dreams about being a dishwasher and cashier or whatever the rest of low-income occupation. But life puts you there. If you don't have the right attitude facing it, it will pull you lower and lower." Sky was forgiven, but the outcome still came in 2021 when all of Ryan's buffet locations closed permanently and were auctioned off by Auction Nation following the company's collapse. Sky's attitude had made Guido's decision an easy one, and he came dangerously close to losing his job. But the next person on this list wouldn't escape that fate. Doug Guller had built Bikini's sports bar and grill around a concept he described proudly and often.
So with Bikinis, we focus on 4 things: booze, food, sports, and sex. Those 4 things are recession-proof.
The required uniform for servers, who worked under the official title of Bikini Babes, was a bikini top, denim shorts, and cowboy boots. Guller even trademarked the word for his business.
And I love the fact that we're a restaurant, so that's why I even trademarked the term.
And saw the controversy surrounding his business as good PR.
There's not a new location that we're in that doesn't get controversy, but I absolutely love it. It gets us some press that's good for the brand.
He went undercover under the name Jake, posing as a reality show contestant hoping to win money to make his dreams come true. In that role, he visited 4 employees across different locations. When Guller arrived at the Austin location where Jessica worked, she was behind the bar wearing a t-shirt.
When I see that Jessica's not in a bikini top, I was pissed. So does bartenders don't have to wear bikinis?
You are supposed to be wearing a bikini. I just chose not to since we're on TV. I'd like to wear a t-shirt instead.
Guller was already frustrated by the t-shirt incident, but things only got worse when Jessica overserved a customer who was already intoxicated.
This guy is pretty hammered.
He's not too bad at all.
Right now, I'm extremely upset and really concerned about the guy at the bar that's been overserved.
Apparently, Jessica had her own standards for determining when a customer was too intoxicated to be served.
When their head's like on the table.
On the table?
Like, passing out.
I mentioned what was going on to Jessica probably 3 times.
Can I get another double?
Put a double in this.
She just overlooked it.
Then Jessica made a statement that completely convinced Guller that he had seen enough.
I wouldn't do it if it didn't help pay the bills, that's for sure. This is definitely not going to be permanent. I'm on the search right now, so as soon as someone bites on my resume, then I'll be back into, not just that, in sales. I'm a closer.
When Guller revealed himself at the end of the episode and sat down with Jessica, he told her it was her last day.
You know, I think you're a great person, but you're not right for bikinis. It was clear to me that day. I'm sorry, Jessica. It's not working out. Today's your last day.
I'm so mad right now.
Even after firing her, Guller attempted to leave the conversation on a positive note, but Jessica wasn't having it.
Just so you know, I know a lot of people in Austin and Dallas, so I can really get your resume out there.
I'll be sure to go to the guy, give you my resume, who just fired me, to help me get a new job.
As Jessica was leaving the premises, she made one last comment that summed up exactly how she felt.
I'm not an idiot. Like, what person is everyone happy with the job they have right when they have it? That's my job, and I still told everyone that I humble myself to do what I got to do. That doesn't make me a horrible person just because I'm not satisfied where I'm at.
The internet was largely in agreement with her. The episode generated immediate and sustained backlash on social media and in the entertainment press. One commenter even stated, "I've been in the food and beverage industry for 45 years. I've owned bars, clubs, restaurants, and as a chef, I've helped start restaurants in multiple Canadian provinces. This walk-in lawsuit of a scumbag is a disgrace to the industry I absolutely love, given my life, bled, sweat, and burned myself for. I read on here that this piece of trash went bankrupt. Good. The lesser clowns like him, the better off our industry's reputation and future becomes. This moron is nothing but a pig who got into this to get off on these young women. Good riddance." Meanwhile, the restaurant chain, which had built its entire identity around the word "restaurant," began the process of rebranding its Dallas-Fort Worth locations as Gino's East Pizzerias by May 2015. Jessica had been fired for refusing to wear a bikini on camera, but at a bar chain in Kentucky, a very different kind of removal was playing out. One that had to do with a manager who had a problem with basic human decency. Nader Masade had washed dishes at Burger King and worked his way up through Taco Bell before becoming the president and CEO of Buffalo Wings and Rings years later.
I worked alongside my dad in all of his restaurant ventures throughout high school and college. And then in 2003, my dad found a Buffalo Wings and Rings franchise restaurant for sale.
In Season 7, Episode 1, he went undercover as Pete, shaving his mustache and dyeing his hair white to work in multiple Buffalo Wings locations.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes. If that means shaving my head, I'll do it.
Here we go.
Ooh. Now you gotta shave your mustache.
In Bardstown, he met a manager named Wes, and the encounter went badly from the start.
He's got the scumbag gold chain, the thick nerd glasses, and the shiny bald head. He seems very soft, like grandma's pancakes.
I was a little bit intimidated by his demeanor.
Damn, if you're gonna work back here with me, man, you're gonna have to get the lead out of your ass. Let's get you in an apron. You seem kind of slow moving so far, so.
Everything about Wes's approach to management seemed hostile.
I got a feeling you've probably been a guy that's been walked on a time or two in his life. Nobody walks on me. Can't be a bitch back here.
No, I'll try not to be.
I'm gonna have you do this by yourself, okay?
And he even left the employee he was supposed to be training alone in the kitchen to figure out things for himself.
I'm going, holy, what am I gonna do? I had to dig deep inside my memory to figure out how to make all those orders all by myself. Fryer is tough.
Then when Pete couldn't keep up, Wes stepped in and was incredibly harsh toward him.
Okay. I'm taking over. As he stands right now, I would never leave Pete in charge of my kitchen. You want this floor so clean, you would have sex on it.
On the floor?
Oh yeah, you got shit everywhere, man.
Okay, I'll continue.
You were like a fucking tornado.
I'm sorry.
Hurricane Pete.
What an ass.
But Pete soon realized that he wasn't the only person Wes spoke to in that way.
High school kids. The average person that works back here, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, they're dumbass. You can't ask dumb people to do smart things. I'm an asshole, I'm a dickhead, I'm harsh, I'm over the top.
Wes knew his behavior wasn't acceptable, but he had his own reason behind it.
Fear equals respect. You're gonna have to rule with an iron fist, man.
Masade, listening while trying to appear like a regular new hire, was seriously disturbed.
He believes truly that's a great method of controlling the staff. Fear equals many things that you don't want in a work environment.
Wes also had a habit of using inappropriate language when interacting with his staff.
If I see somebody take my towel, I'm gonna kick you straight in your little baby nuts. Oh boy, I need a beer.
Which led Masade to conclude that Wes was simply a bully.
It's upsetting to me. I'm cringing on the inside when I hear Wes speak. It's a classic definition of a bully. This is unacceptable.
Back in the district.
I can't take it anymore.
At that moment, Masade knew he couldn't let the behavior continue, so he brought his concerns about Wes to the general manager.
I would fire him tonight. I'm taking the franchise agreement, I'm gonna rip it apart if Sean is refusing to do the right thing for his staff.
He'll do the right thing.
After working with Wes today, I can't continue to be undercover.
During the reveal, Masade addressed Wes's conduct, yet Wes appeared completely unapologetic.
These are high school teenage kids.
I'm not their dada. I'm not their guidance counselor. I'm their manager.
Okay. I have asked Sean and Red to be here today.
Put them right here.
With everything now on the table, Masade brought in the franchise owner and general manager to announce their decision.
Problem has to be fixed. I think I would have a better chance at success if we separate ways.
Okay, so I'm gone then.
Following his termination, Wes made himself a promise.
I am who I am. Sorry, I'm such a scary monster.
Thank you, Sean, for making a wise decision.
The internet believed that Wes deserved to be fired, with one commenter stating, "As expected, Wes got terminated and ended that agony to other kitchen employees who are kind and hardworking. He deserves it, and I'm sure if he continues that kind of superiority and bullying at work, I'm sure he won't be successful in life." And a second viewer said, "Thank you for not allowing that bully to continue working for the company. If I walked into a restaurant and heard staff being berated with language like that, it would leave a horrible impression of the chain on me. Knowing that it was addressed and that he was dismissed makes me happy and restores faith. This was a wonderful episode. The CEO was so generous, and most importantly, he stood up for the staff." 6 months after the episode aired, Buffalo Wings and Rings confirmed the lessons from the experience were still being actively applied across the company. Wes's termination was about as clear-cut as they come, and no second chance was ever on the table. The next firing, however, came from a completely different industry in Canada and would become one of the franchise's most memorable dismissals. The day the producers of Undercover Boss Canada first called Rick Smichiklis about appearing on the show was, by his own account, the absolute worst day in the history of his company. A trusted long-term employee had just been caught stealing from Wild Wing. Smichiklis believed he was on the brink of losing the company he had built since March 17, 1989.
Every day I thought I was going to lose the business. I didn't think we would make it. And finally I said, you know what? I'm going to lose this company if I don't scale this thing down.
But somehow he said yes to the show anyway. His undercover persona was Angelo, a rough-looking character inspired by a real friend. To bring the character to life, he wore a bad wig, sloppy jeans, and fake yellow teeth that looked noticeably neglected. He visited multiple locations, looking at operations, consistency, and staff treatment, but what he encountered at one of them was something no amount of preparation had readied him for. At one location, Smitchickless was working alongside a woman named Sabrina. As she trained him on the floor, he discovered that the franchise owner had created his own specials, which were far more confusing than the ones approved by head office.
Well, it's confusing for the customers.
No, I'll go back and re-explain it all again.
Or just 2 pounds and then she gets what she wants.
Yeah, she could have that 3rd pound for free.
Like, that stuff makes sense to me.
Well, yeah, because that's all head office stuff.
Why does this guy go against head office? I want to stick to
You're
this
getting frustrated.
Soon after, Smitchickless discovered that the restaurant had gone beyond unauthorized specials and was also serving drinks that had not been approved.
Tall boys are really popular. We tend to sell more tall boys, which is more of a profit from the draft.
Tall boys are not authorized by us. There's lots of concerns here.
The menu violations were one thing, but what really got to Smitchickless was hearing Sabrina say that the franchise owner often yelled at her.
I've had him scream and yell at me and tell him he could find someone better.
Really?
Walked out in the middle of a shift to realize I can't walk out because what am I going to do for my children?
Only for Smitchickless to return from lunch and personally witness the very behavior Sabrina had just described.
I went bankrupt tonight, you know that, right? Do you think I come here happy all the time?
That's my fault. I give you the 5 days, 6 days work. What is the money you want?
Welcome back.
Before taking matters any further, he made it clear to Sabrina that he intended to stand up for her.
If my daughter was being abused like this, and I would let the guy have it.
I don't have a dad like you. I don't have anybody.
Well, maybe I can do it.
And he wasted no time backing up his words with action.
I want a proper apology. You go up there and you apologize.
Sorry, Camila.
You can on me, you can on me, you can do whatever the hell you want to me. You can't treat people like this when they're crying at work. No, come on!
He also made Sabrina an offer right there and then.
Do you want to quit? You want to come work for me?
I'm ready to quit.
Okay, you work with me, I'm going to triple your salary. Triple!
Before stripping the store of everything associated with Wild Wings.
Give me a pen.
Don't do that.
You don't need my name. Call it Dave's Wings.
Come on. I love you, Rick.
No, you don't love me. Give me a break. And Tall Boys. Okay, we have a contract for draft beer. Everything you do is different.
And that he told him directly that it was over.
It's done. You and me are done.
After everything, Smitchickless apologized to Sabrina.
This really, it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen, and I apologize on behalf of myself and our company, and it's not the way it should be. Okay.
He also provided her with financial support and told her to take some time off.
I hope this helps a bit. It's just a start.
Thank you.
You don't have to cry. It was a very emotional situation for both of us. Please take the week off, get your energy back.
In 2015, Smitchickless sold Wild Wing, and the chain continues to operate under new ownership with over 100 locations across Canada. The Wild Wing moment was a franchise termination rather than a standard employee firing, which makes what happened in Season 3 at Checkers and Rallies look like a close cousin. Rick Silva had spent years building a career in the restaurant industry before becoming president and CEO of Checkers and Rallies in 2007.
I spent 13 years at Burger King. I did work on their international side. I was president of Latin America. When I came on board, we had to make some changes on the management team. I brought many new people onto the team to work with me.
He went undercover as Alex Garcia, a failed pharmacist from Philadelphia starring in a Second Chances TV show, wearing a hairpiece and a fake mustache.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I can let you go on the road alone now.
The thing that would upset me the most is if I saw either our guests being treated inappropriately.
He visited 3 locations, and at one of them, he connected in particular with a young man named Todd.
My name is Todd. I'm a crew member here. Main things that I'm going to teach you today are the grill and the fry station. You follow me, you won't go wrong.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
As he spent time with Todd, he started to see problems with how the location was being managed.
So how long have you been here doing this?
I've been here for almost 1.5 years now.
How long did it take you to get the hang of it?
Me, it didn't take me too long because I kind of sort of trained myself.
But that wasn't an issue because Todd was capable and grateful for the job. However, the manager running that location was a different story. Stevens barked orders at Todd and the other employees constantly.
How we doing on meat, guys? How we doing?
Sorry, I'm slowing you down, aren't I?
Yeah.
I got an axe.
What? Step aside, make your phone call, ask.
Then Todd confirmed that this was their way of communicating in the kitchen.
No problem, sir. I have something down now.
Am I slowing you down? Am I get you in trouble?
No.
Okay.
We do a lot of yelling.
Okay.
That's our way of communicating.
In addition to barking orders, Stevens also threatened the employees when tasks were not completed on his timeline.
How many hours do you have right now? So if you go on overtime, I can take you outside and beat you up, right?
And that behavior had a negative effect on the employees.
It's my
Why
job.
do you keep working for Checkers?
Because I do it because I need to help my mom.
How does it make you feel?
Like I'm worthless.
So Silva asked to speak with Stevens privately.
Why would I want to work for you with the way you talk to people inside there? The first hour that you talk to me that way, I would leave. I wouldn't even leave my name tag in I would walk out the door and never come back.
Let me ask you a
How would
question.
that make you feel?
But Stevens continued to defend his management style.
You do what you gotta do to get them to listen to you. You run them, they don't run you.
And began questioning what right Alex had to challenge him at all.
Have you been in the fast food business before?
No, I haven't. Maybe that's my
Have you been
problem.
in the restaurant business at all?
I've studied the restaurant business.
No, not studied. Have you any experience in the restaurant business?
That was when Silva dropped the performance entirely.
I have been in the restaurant business for over 20 years, and I've been in the fast food business for over 20 years. I'm CEO for this company. I know the right way to do it, and I know the wrong way to do it. And what I saw here today is completely the wrong way to do it.
The restaurant was closed for the remainder of that night's shift.
Right here, right now, we're going to shut the restaurant down.
The next morning, it reopened with a new manager in place.
What I need you to do right now is to get me some general managers from other restaurants. I want to bring them in, and I want to make sure that we got a crew here before we reopen this restaurant.
Silva later told Nation's Restaurant News, "We closed the unit down during that Sunday night shift temporarily. The next morning, it reopened with a new manager, and it's been running fantastic since then." Silva retained Stevens for retraining under the company's new emphasis on respect, but Stevens was out of that location immediately and permanently. Stevens' misconduct led an entire franchise to shut down for one night. But in the next case, things escalated so far that the entire business ceased to exist. PV Electronics was a Mississippi-based audio equipment manufacturer built by Hartley Peavy into what had once been a genuine American success story in the guitar amplifier and professional audio space.
Hartley Peavy is my stepfather. He's the CEO. My mother, Mary, is president of PV Electronics.
Cortland Gray was the company's COO, being groomed to eventually take over from Hartley. He went undercover as Cal Simmons to see how the company was actually functioning. He visited a PV showroom in Hollywood, California, where a band performing at an in-store event watched their equipment malfunction live.
I think the battery's dying on this, dude. Say it's not turning up.
All right, we're working on it. I'm not doing anything wrong. Let's just put it there.
And then they blamed PV equipment directly.
You blamed it on the microphone. You know, I hear the opposite. We have some good microphones.
Damn it, that sounds terrible.
The next day, Gray went into the main manufacturing plant in Meridian, Mississippi, where he had met a woman named Theresa who had been hand soldering circuit boards with the same outdated methods for years.
I work on circuit boards. I test them and repair them.
All right. Test. Hello.
She told him her productivity targets required her to complete her job in 73 seconds.
We're going to be testing this circuit board, and you've got 73 seconds to test each board.
All right. Is that enough time?
No, it's actually not.
She also told him that the company had made too many cutbacks, leaving employees unable to sustain themselves.
After you were here 20 years, you would get an extra week's vacation. Well, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
We used to have barbecues for us and stuff like that, but they pretty much cut all that out. But then, you know, that's one of the cutbacks we had to do, so I'm still paying on student loans.
Yeah.
Just when it seemed like she was finished, more examples of the company's neglect came to light.
Our health insurance goes up every year.
That's not unusual.
They don't give merit raises anymore. I actually haven't had a raise in 8 years.
A woman who had worked there for over 2 decades told him that she wasn't sure what the future held.
You really don't know from day to day. I mean, I could come in tomorrow and they could have the door shut.
At the reveal, Gray rewarded his employees handsomely.
Nevertheless, I'd like to give you and your husband a 3rd week of vacation this year. You also said that you wanted to take an RV trip around the country.
Yeah.
So I'd like to pay all your expenses up to $10,000 so you can have that dream and enjoy your time with your husband.
Gray walked through that plant and found workers who genuinely loved what they did, but that loyalty was followed by events that would prove difficult to process. 4 months after the episode aired, PV closed its Plan 3 manufacturing location in Meridian, Mississippi, the facility Cortland had filmed in, laying off nearly 100 employees, including Theresa. The Washington Post covered the fallout the day after the episode aired, asking plainly whether Undercover Boss had gone from a great idea to a liability for the companies featured on it. It was the one Undercover Boss episode where the person going undercover found genuine problems, appeared to care about them, made promises on television, and then presided over an outcome that hurt the people he had promised to help. The decision sparked significant backlash online, with one commenter writing, "I'll never be able to look at my 2 PV amps again without thinking about this episode. The PV family is apparently willing to step on anybody in the quest for the American dream. It is a shame that they destroyed the dreams of so many others along the way." While another lamented, "After watching this episode, I was shocked and sick at the same time. These 2 men don't care about anyone but themselves, and that's just sad. My husband had some PV equipment for his band. I can't even look at that junk equipment without thinking of this episode. Rotten, evil family." In response to the backlash, PV posted a statement on Facebook that read, "Unfortunately, there was no other choice we could make in order to stay competitive in the global marketplace." While PV Electronics is still in business today and celebrated its 60 years in business in 2025, the company is much smaller than it used to be, with most production moved overseas and its US workforce greatly reduced. PV's employees had done the work right, but the only issue was they trusted a boss who promised them things the company could not deliver. But the next person on this list made a very different kind of mistake. Jane Grote Abel was the daughter of the man who had founded Donato's Pizza.
My dad, as a kid, knew he wanted to go into business, and then by the time he was 18, he had an opportunity to buy a pizza place worth $1,300.
Her father, Tom Grote, had started the company in Columbus, Ohio in 1963, building it into a regional institution that eventually reached revenues of around $170 million annually. Jane had been in the business right from when she was little and now served as its chairwoman of the board.
My brother and my sister and I, we would help mix the dough. We would crack the eggs for the dough. My mom made the lasagna and the spaghetti sauce, and my grandma made the meatballs and the sausage.
Under the name Kathy Cooper, she posed as a participant on a fictional second chance reality show who was pursuing her dream of opening a restaurant. She visited 4 Donato's locations, 1 in Vienna, Virginia, and 3 in Columbus, Ohio. At the Ohio State University campus location, she met Aaron, a delivery driver who immediately liked her from the moment he saw her.
Kathy's hot. Kathy's good looking. I like her septum piercing. I like the tats, the glasses, the black hair. So she's got it going on.
He was pleasant, friendly, and did his job properly.
You want to address the customer by their name, tell them the total. Hey, what's up, Mark? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. All right, here's your pizza. If you could just go ahead and double check that.
Looks good.
All right, awesome.
I love that Aaron had a really great customer service balance with speed.
But apparently, comfortable enough with Kathy to tell her something he perhaps should have kept to himself.
A lot of people smoke pot, and they will invite me to come in for a little bit, and if I'm not very busy and I don't need to be super focused really, then I'll kind of indulge.
You do not.
This left Jane utterly disappointed because she was really impressed by his service.
I can't think of another time I've been this disappointed. When you see so much hope and potential in someone, it feels like betrayal.
When Abel revealed herself at the end of the episode, she fired him from his position as a delivery driver.
I apologize for that.
Well, you know I have to let you go as a delivery driver.
Really?
She then offered him a conditional deal.
I'm going to give you a second chance. If you can take a drug test in 30 days, you can come back and work in the kitchen.
Wow. Would really appreciate that.
And Aaron expressed genuine gratitude for the chance.
Jane could have fired me, and I'm glad that she's taking into account all of the positives in me, and I'm glad that she's giving me the opportunity that she's giving me.
Aaron had been handed a lifeline, and what he did with it was entirely up to him. The final story on this list involved a CEO who ultimately had to shut down a restaurant mid-episode. Linda Chadwick had spent years in fast food leadership before becoming president and CEO of Rita's Italian Ice.
So in my fast food career, I started at 18 working at Burger King. I was making sandwiches and actually went through every position within the restaurant.
When Chadwick agreed to appear on Undercover Boss, the company was coming out of a difficult stretch.
We had issues in marketing, and there were some franchisees that weren't happy. Rita's needs modernizing.
She went undercover as Marcy Morgan, a retired teacher from Massachusetts who was a longtime Rita's fan and was thinking about becoming a franchisee herself. She visited 3 locations, and the second location in Holland, Michigan, was run by Stefani Neves.
So Stephanie's bringing her children to work, which I really don't have a problem with, as long as they don't disrupt the customers or the running of the shop.
She was a working mother who had made a series of decisions about how to run her location that did not align with the company's policy.
She's only 5 months old, and I'm not ready for it. So I don't want to send her off to somebody else's house. I'll miss her.
She was opening the store at 2 in the afternoon instead of the required noon opening time.
Part of the thing that we've done that has worked out best for myself is to kind of limit our hours here. Rita's would like us to be open from 12, but we don't open until 2, mostly because that was something that I dictated that works best for my family.
And she did this without any regard for how it could affect the business.
So being that this is my business, I am going to do what I need to do, what's best for my family, regardless, in the end, what Rita's corporate may or may not want us to do.
On the other hand, the new drive-thru that Rita's had was installed, but it was done without a signpost.
So how do they know to come in this area? Is there signage?
There is not any signage yet.
Then how do they know where to stop over here? You're gonna have something that says pick up here?
No, we just tell them to pull up to the window.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm not really sure what signage that we would need to put out.
The real reason for her drive-thru ending up that way was that she never reached out to headquarters for help.
No, the reason we didn't is because a drive-thru at Rita's is actually pretty much, it's an anomaly.
Moments later, a car attempted to enter the drive-thru and things didn't go smoothly.
Sir, would you mind coming up to the window and I'll take your order face to face? I can't hear you.
I was absolutely having difficulty hearing people. When we had been testing it out, it seemed to work just fine.
With everything she'd seen so far, Chadwick was beginning to get frustrated.
Stephanie is not ready for customers. And honestly, who would want to come back? I'm really more than disappointed. I'm quite angry.
So Chadwick decided to break cover. She told Stefani who she was, explained the liability they were both looking at, and shut down the drive-thru.
We have to shut down the drive-thru. It's just not safe for our guests. From a signage standpoint, we have to make sure that our guests know exactly how to get through drive-thru and how to exit drive-thru.
Yep.
It's critical.
She also addressed the issue involving Stefani's children.
And I was a single parent for a long time. Sure. I know how hard it is. I'm really worried about the kids back and forths in the dining room.
Yeah, today was definitely a bit of a wild day.
At the reveal, Chadwick told Stefani plainly that what she had witnessed was not how Rita's intended its business to be run.
It's a hazard for the guests. We don't have entrance and exit signs. Headsets are not proper, and you're only open limited hours.
Yeah, I would say that would be a fair representation.
Eventually, the drive-thru was temporarily closed, and Stefani was given financial support to reopen properly.
I want to give you $25,000 to fix everything before you open again.
Oh my word.
And then Chadwick also acknowledged the pressures of being a new mother running a small business.
I want to see your business thrive.
Me too. I desperately want that as well.
So let me help you. If you're willing, I will personally mentor you.
Thank you.
After a while, the franchise continued to operate, and when the episode finally aired, many viewers weren't in support of Stefani's behavior, with one remarking, "The second store? The health inspector needs to show up and tell her that the kids cannot be in the back. There needs to be a blocked-off kids area that they stay in. Otherwise, it's a health and safety concern, and it should be a no that the kids are there." And then there's the franchise owner stating that she doesn't care what corporate thinks. She's going to do what she needs to do for her family. That crappy attitude with a franchisee can get that franchise taken away from you. And another commented, "The lady with the babies at her store is a hazard and a huge nightmare for any type of franchise business. Plus, the owner is a huge oppositional, defiant owner."